It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epic of belief. It was the epic of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of the noisiest authorities insisted on it being received, for good or for evil, in the superlative degree of comparison only. These are the opening words of A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. And these words seem so relevant in our times, for over the past 2 weeks, we have come to be gifted with unexpected blessings. And at the same time, many of our concerns have grown as this pandemic continues on. Over the past 2 weeks, we have experienced unexpected blessings of being surrounded by family with duration of time like we have never experienced before in our lifetime, of connecting with loved ones by phone or internet, sharing words of compassion, receiving one another in the resolute strength of tenderness. Over the past 2 weeks, we have experienced unexpected blessings of being offered additional time to finish a project, start a project, or make great strides nearing a completion. Of taking nostalgic walks through childhood neighborhoods, witnessing the streets and sidewalks, teeming with the next generation of citizens raising their children, walking through the making of children's memories that they may take into their adulthood. Over the past 2 weeks, we have experienced unexpected blessings. What have been your blessings? And though we have experienced unexpected blessings, this past week has also brought new opportunities to be concerned. This week, we have received disturbing reports of increased people becoming ill, unfathomably long lines at local drive-through testing sites, and we have received growing reports of death as a result of this pandemic. Such reports are received by watching the news or reading about them on social media platforms. So often their names remain anonymous to us. Yet for some of us, in our beloved faith community, we have received personal phone calls and texts from people we love informing us of them becoming sick with COVID-19. This week we have learned of the staggering numbers of unemployment, not only by the news, but by hearing about them from friends, neighbors, siblings, children, loved ones, and maybe from personal experience. Our hearts are filled with concern as we watch generations of people losing their jobs. This week, we have experienced financial stress, which puts pressure on relationships, peace, and planned dreams. This week, we have watched with numbness and extreme degrees of emotions as our government contradicts itself, fights with itself, disrespects one another, and we have grown increasingly concerned if any action will truly help our individual households and families. This past week has brought new opportunities to be concerned. And so I ask you now, as a fellow disciple of Christ, what should we do? We are in a time where both unexpected blessings and increased concerns present themselves in our lives at the same time. Do we ignore one in lieu of the other? Do we pretend both are not there? Do we attempt to receive all the unexpected blessings and growing concerns at once, threatening the stability and peace of our mind? I ask you now, as a friend and fellow disciple of Christ, what should we do? Before we begin anything, it is helpful to start with what you know. Start with what you know. Who are you? What is your name? And whose are you? You. You are a beloved child of God. And what do you know that the Lord requires of you? To act with justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. We do not know how long this pandemic will last. We do not know what unexpected blessings and concerns will continue to manifest in our lives. We do not know so many things. Yet in the midst of experiencing both unexpected blessings and growing concerns, I implore you as a friend in Christ to exhaust your options, to act with justice in the lives of the people around you, to love in all ways that you can, and to walk humbly with your God.